I may be a lot of things, but an expert in music is not one of them. So why did Fantano invite me, Alex from IHE Everything, onto his channel to talk about the subject of music while he's away? Well, I don't know, to be honest. But what I do know is that I'm extremely passionate about the way music is used in cinema. Specifically, original scores for movies. There are endless examples of fantastic soundtracks from basically anything by Scorsese, Tarantino, Danny Boyle, the Coen brothers, etc., etc. But what I want to talk about specifically is stuff like
It's on.
By no means can I claim to have any knowledge in music theory. I can't explain to you how to write an effective, well-paced song with melodies and themes and crescendos or whatever it may be. But what I do have is working ears, and I do know how this music makes me feel. And at the end of the day, is that not the point of a film score? To make you feel something, to convey the raw emotion of the scene with no barrier whatsoever. Everyone with working ears can understand how magical a swelling orchestrated theme can sound. It doesn't matter what language you speak or what age you are. Music is universal to everyone. And honestly, it took me a while to figure out just how important a score is to a movie experience. Because chances are, if a film is making you feel any kind of emotion, it is thanks to the use of music. Of course, there are exceptions to this, but in my mind, all the most memorable and affecting moments in film are accompanied by some kind of music. Let me show you what I mean. Everyone knows the theme from E.T. by John Williams. It is such an innocent and pure piece that truly captures the wonder and childlike excitement the characters experience in the movie. But what happens when you take that music away? Well, you get something like this. It's awkward, cold, and most importantly holds no passion or excitement whatsoever. My point is, there is only so much a director and actors and film crew can convey on their own. You absolutely need a composer to bind all the hard work together to make it resonate properly. I want you to do something for me. Pause this video and watch the edited ending scene from E.T. with absolutely no music whatsoever, with a video link in the description. And then afterwards, watch the same scene, but this time with only the score, meaning there's no dialogue or sound effects. That's also in the description. After watching both of those, if anyone can point at the musically bare one and tell me that it's more effective than the other way around, then quite frankly, I just won't believe you. And sometimes the choice to not use music can actually be just as powerful and have the same effect. It's all about the creators having faith in the balancing act that making a film is. An example of this I always go back to, in my head, is the truck chase scene in The Dark Knight. For most of the scene is silent in terms of music, and this was an artful decision that makes the sequence feel so much more intense as a result. Before this sequence, we've been presented with an array of different types of themes, from disturbing shill music for the Joker scenes and loud, booming drums that heighten the violence and tension in other scenes. But all of a sudden, the complete lack of music does wonders for the pacing, because like the character of the Joker, it makes you feel uneasy, it highlights the action, it gradually makes you slide your butt off the edge of your seat in pure anticipation because every little noise is heightened with a lack of clutter. It was a careful and deliberate decision that works very much in favor for the tone and atmosphere the sequence was trying to invoke in the audience. So those are two good examples of how you use music and why it's important. But let's take a quick look at an example that sucks. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has one of the worst scores I've ever heard. Ironic considering how I was just praising how Zimmer's work was used in The Dark Knight. But here we have an embarrassing, confused mess that in a lot of ways represents the movie itself. Whereas The Dark Knight is tightly edited, well-directed, well-acted, and well-paced throughout, and the music reflects that, Zimmer's score in this film lacks consistency and conviction, and is outright laughable at times. The villain theme for the blue guy Electro literally consists of on-the-nose whispering of these lyrics. Something's happening, mind-destructing, agony inside of me. My pulse is racing, mental torture, self-destroyer, can't ignore the paranoia. Denying, the rising, the crying, I'm dying. He lied to me, he shot at me, he hates on me. It's Weirdly fitting. And if that wasn't enough, obnoxious dubstep sounding noise seeps its way into the theme. If this doesn't seem that bad to you, go and listen to it. So a leitmotif is when you compose a theme that is associated with a particular person, idea, or situation. People like John Williams and Howard Shore are excellent and well versed with this, as evidenced by their equally excellent track records. Incorporating those lyrics like I just read to you into a theme is not only laughably unsubtle, but contradicts the entire point of what a score should do. The score should use music to convey a certain emotion, tone, or atmosphere without having to literally scream at you that your character is angry or upset. Well-written music should be able to convey everything you need to know about what's going on without stupid garbage like this. I'm going to leave you with a clip of Peter Jackson, director of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which has one of the best scores of all time in my opinion. Someone who, like me, has very little understanding of the technicalities of how music is composed, explaining why music is so important to film specifically.
The music score on any film is obviously vitally important because it totally guides your emotions when you're watching the film. I mean, the actors can do their job, the director can do their job in terms of creating a certain amount of mood and emotion, but obviously music is like so strong in evoking what you should be feeling at any given time.
If you're interested in listening to some of the best film scores, I've put together a list of some of my absolute favourites that will be in the description, so if you're interested, please feel free to join the club of nerds who love film scores like myself. Thank you so much for watching. I don't usually get to make content like this, so this was fun for me. I hope it was enjoyable in some form for you. Thanks to Anthony for inviting me onto his channel while he's away. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for something to do with melons or whatever he does. And you can check out my videos too if you feel like it. Or don't, do whatever you like. March by the beat of your own drum and all that. Bye!